Lenore Paprocki is the president of the Greater Middle Country Chamber of Commerce. Good morning, Lenore.
Good morning, Sal. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Obviously becoming our new normal, hopefully not for very long. Everybody's staying home and staying safe. It's very important. I'm sure every one of us knows someone or knows of someone who has been, the families have been stricken by this COVID-19, the coronavirus. Hopefully, an end is the light is at the end of the tunnel soon enough, I hope. In the meantime, I'd like to welcome you all today to our kind of co-hosting here with the Miller Business Center. I had actually just a little bit about this. I know Sal just kind of explained. We're going to learn about some apps that we can use. This was supposed to be the Middle Country Chamber's March meeting. However, due to the shutdown, we were unable to have it. I went to a meeting very similar to this at the Miller Business Center in December, and it was so great and so much fun. And anybody who knows me knows that I am not tech savvy by any means. Well, this was so easy and so great. And I really felt that it would be something if they could do it online. And guess what? That Miller Business Center, they are amazing people there. Utilize their services, but they're able to present this to us. And I'm sure now that we're all online, it's going to be a good thing for us to be using. So with that being said, I'd like to throw it back over to Sal and Elizabeth and have them begin the presentation. Guys, sit back, have a notepad ready, have your phone in hand, because these apps are going to be amazing. Enjoy.
Great, thank you so much, Lenore. Welcome everyone to this special Chamber of Commerce edition of Business Bites. Again, my name is Sal DiVincenzo. I'm one of the information specialists here at the Miller Business Center. I'm joined by the coordinator of the Miller Center, Elizabeth Malafi. And she's going to unmute and say hello.
Hi.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to go first this morning, just so the flow works better since I'm already here. I'm going to go first this morning. Going to go over some of our favorite apps and gadgets, and for me, some gadgets and gizmos that I brought with me today, here at the house. And I want to start with a librarian choice here, if I may be so bold and honest with you. A choice of app, and we're going to just share my screen here and just bear with me one moment as we work with this technology. Okay, here we go. And I'd like to start with an app called Overdrive. Overdrive is a fantastic app that will allow you to download ebooks and audiobooks and read them or listen to them on your mobile device. Now, this is available to most folks, if not, no, all folks in Suffolk County, right, Elizabeth? Everyone has, yes. Everyone has access to Overdrive through your local library. So if you're not a Middle Country library card holder, you'll still be able to access this. You see I have a few books here as a demonstration on my phone: business books, business audio books, leadership books. If you want to add a title, you'll come here, you'll tap on add a title, and you'll be forwarded to the library.com page. And you will see they evidently have books in different languages here. So if you want to read Harry Potter in, what is that, German or in Russian, there you go. That's a fantastic thing that you got there. But so you come here, you could tap on the search box, type in business, because we all want to brush up on our business skills while we are home. And then you will see here a really great selection. This is great. They actually have business plans now on Library, on Overdrive. So if you want to build your business plan, write your business plan, you can come here. You have a bookkeeping business plan template, preschool business plan template, in addition to all those popular business books. Now, of course, this is all going to be based on availability. It's just like the library in the sense that there's a limited number of copies. So if you have to, you can put a book on hold. Um, so let's say, what color is your parachute? Let's pick one of these random ones here. I randomly picked the 2017 one. So this is what color is your parachute? I just did a search here. It's an ebook. I want to borrow it, so I tap on it. Gives me a nice little description. I could read a sample. You can see here it says 1 of 1 copy available. It's got a very nice description. It gives you the details, how long the file is, what kind of format, so on and so forth. So let's say I want to take this book out. I want to read it on my iPhone or my iPad or my Kindle device, or pick a tablet, or even your desktop. So I'm going to click on borrow, and we like to default it at 21 days because you might as well get it for the full time. But you can adjust this down if you want to read it quick and then be able to take out another item. Elizabeth, is it 7 items right now for the total checkout? It should 7 is the total.
I thought it was 5, but it
Okay.
could be 5 holds and 7 checkouts.
7 checkouts. Okay.
I think
it's 7.
it's 7.
7.
Okay.
Great.
Fantastic. What Library just added is that if a book comes in for you and you already have another one going, you can say, you know what, hold off, just put me back down 1, give it to the next person. So that's been really helpful, so everything doesn't come in for you at once.
Great. So I'm going to click on borrow. You'll see here now. Oh, so it says I can borrow 3 more titles. So I already had 3 out. So maybe it is 7. So I'm going to click on download. It adds the title to my device. The title is added. So we will get back here, go to my bookshelf. And now you see I have that item there. I can click on it and I can read it. Now, obviously you're seeing here, I'm reading it on my iPhone, and it's going to be a little small on the iPhone, but on your bigger devices, it'll look much better. And all your chapters are hot linked, which is nice. So if you want to jump right to self-inventory part 1, just tap on chapter 7 and you can read chapter 7. And you can see it's pretty clear. It's pretty cool. So this is great for books and for audiobooks. So you can, you know, in this case, I have an audiobook here, Call Sign Chaos. You can listen to it again on any of your devices, and it will come in very handy. There's no charge to use this. Why go to Amazon when you can download all these wonderful ebooks and audiobooks, folks? Come on, this is a great opportunity for you. So that's my first. It's Overdrive, and it's you need to access this using your library card. So make sure you have your library card handy if you haven't already signed up for Overdrive. Okay. Moving forward, let's mention. How about that? This is an app which is actually pretty cool. This app will allow you to create alerts to monitor social networks for I'm sorry, just the chat just popped up for a moment. Social networks for items that you add. So if you want to, I'm going to hit the plus button here. If you want to monitor your the social networks for your company or product, perhaps a competitor, or even anything else. So you want to monitor the web about a topic, a person, anything. So if you want to do a web search for maybe, you know, COVID-19 vaccine available, you can put that here and find out about it right away through this alert type. Now, I will say that there is a charge involved if you want to go a little further with this, in the sense that the basic plan allows you one alert, one user, and up to 250 mentions. You can see it does get rather hefty if you move up to the other plans. That being said, if you just want to monitor your company, this will come in handy. You'll be able to monitor it with just the one company. So you can see I had already created an alert here for Middle Country Public Library. If I tap on it, you're going to see any of the mentions that came up recently. It does take a couple of days to populate. I will tell you that. If you download the app and you do it for the first time, definitely wait about 24 hours for stuff to start showing up. But anything that comes up, so you could see here, like this was something from longisland.com. I guess it was a mention of us in a program of some sort. We can come here, authors. And obviously it's not going to be exact in some cases because it's going to be searching for all your terms. So you can see here, family research, we were probably mentioned on this page. And you can turn notifications on for this on your mobile device. So this way it'll pop up right away and you'll see it. So again, you hit the plus button, you pick the company, you'll type the company or product in here. So if I want to type in like FedEx, for example, next, and we can add specific sources, or we could just skip the step. You want to say notify me and then create the alert, and then it'll just show up in your thing. Now, of course, I already have one alert for my account, but you kind of get the idea. You could just do for the one there as well. So any questions so far, Elizabeth, in the chat room? Is everybody happy so far? Looking good? All right. All right, let me look.
It looks like everybody is just listening.
Okay, very good, very good. Hope I'm not going too quickly here. You know, I mentioned this one for our live program back in December, and I really, really like it, especially now. And it is something called Informed, and it comes from the US Postal Office. And what's great about this is a dashboard of all your packages and all the pieces of mail that are going to end up in your mailbox. Now, if you're home and you're waiting for a check or an invoice, or if you're waiting for, you know, something from your grandmother in Florida who sent you a nice letter, this is a great place to see it. So basically what happens is you'll get an email every day of your mail, like an actual picture of your mail. Like everything that's coming to your mailbox will show up on an email as an image. So it's really fantastic, and as well as all of your packages. Now, what's nice about this is that you can monitor, for example, and this comes in handy. Let's say someone is sending you something and you want to make sure you get it. If you get a scan of it and it doesn't arrive in your mailbox, you can actually click on this thing that says, I didn't receive this mail piece, and the post office will follow up with you. This is my famous, my little brush with famous. I got someone else's mail on Thursday, a singer-songwriter, Rufus Wright, from his Montauk place. I got his mail by accident. I sent it back though, everybody, so don't worry about that. Anyway, that is a great way to keep track of mail coming to your home. And again, it's an actual picture of your mail, and you get it all on either online as a digested email. So at the beginning of the day, you'll get a digest list, a scan of all your mail items that are going to be in your mailbox, as well as all the things you get from Amazon and anything that the post office handles. So if it's a box from Amazon or a box from Macy's or whatever, it's going to show up on that list, and you can also view it on your mobile device.
Sal, I'm sorry to
Yes.
interrupt, but I missed a question about the
Yes.
Mention app, I believe. It's
Okay.
I use alerts with Google. Is this something different?
No, it's very similar. It's very, very similar.
So it's just all in one place instead
It's
of
all in
getting
one
an
place.
email that could get lost in your
Yes.
email box.
Yes. So it's similar, but remember now, Google is just Google, right? I mean, if you do a search in Google, just Google. This will do Facebook, Twitter, all the social networks and websites. You can actually, like, let's say someone's bad mouthing you on a website, denimlovers.com. I don't know why I came up with that, but let's say you're a denim lover and you like jeans or denim jackets and whatnot. So you go to denimlovers.com forum, you're on there and you're always saying, I bedazzle my denim. It's great. It looks fantastic. And someone's bad mouthing you on there. You can type your username in on the Mention app and denimlovers.com as the source, and Mention will search for you. So it's a little more powerful in that respect. But yeah, so it's a good app for that. Any other questions, Elizabeth, before I move on?
I do not see any, except
Okay.
thank you. That question was from Sue Glenn, so thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Sue. My pleasure. Good to see you. All right, so let's talk about Tiny Scanner. Okay, Tiny Scanner is an app that allows you to PDF scan a document and save it in a folder. So I'm just going through, let me move my keyboard here so I don't turn my monitor off. I'm sorry, folks. All right. So let's say you're going through, what is this? This is Food Network magazine. Let's say you're going through there and you want to make a copy of this green velvet cupcakes recipe. So it's not just taking a picture. It's actually creating a PDF instantaneously. It eliminates a lot of steps. Now, I know a lot of mobile devices have a lot of this built in, but there's an extra step to turn it into a PDF. This will do it right away. So I come here, I'm going to hit this blue shutter button, and you can see now it takes the picture. It will kind of using their AI there, it'll say, is this exactly what you want? But then I'm just dragging these here up to this, and you click on done. And now you see it looks like a picture, but if I tap here, I can turn this into an actual copy and now send this by clicking save. There I go. And I can email this to myself, email it to somebody, and it is a PDF. And you can see it's as if I took a copy from a copy machine. Now, what's really great about this is, some of us are not very good picture takers. Some of us are like on angles and whatnot. So perhaps we will mistakenly, let me see here, I'll come back here.
Sal,
yes.
I have a question that somebody likes this a lot. Karen, hi Karen. But she went to download it and one is showing a charge and one is showing no charge. Could you show a picture of the app when you're done?
Yes, I will. So I will tell you that you're going to want to download the no charge app. There are other apps out there that do similar things. This particular app, I was lucky enough to download this before they went to a charge. So this particular company, this version of the app might not be the one that you're seeing that's for free, but definitely download the free version. Those two do the same thing. So you see here, if I do this now, I'm on kind of like an angle, and I hit it, I can actually drag these corners like this. I'm doing this very haphazardly, but you can kind of see the brown bunny ended up being a little straighter up there. It actually will straighten the page for you if you do it on an angle. So that's actually a pretty cool feature right there. then you click save, and then again, it's in your device, and you'll be able to put it in a folder, send it to your photos. Now, oh, this is another great feature of this, or one of those other apps that you see on the App Store. When I go to a store and I'm showrooming, does everybody know what showrooming means? You know, I go to a store and I'm, you know, maybe I'm going to buy it online, but I want to like touch and feel the item. If I'm showrooming at a store and I want to take a picture of something, what usually happens with your mobile device? You take a picture, it ends up on your photo reel, right? What's nice about this app is I can take a picture inside of this app, a photo, and save it in a folder outside of my photo folder. So it doesn't show up on my photo stream. So I have pictures of my daughter, and then I have a picture of a, a price tag in a store. So I can take that and save it separately. So it's another nice little feature, is I can manage my images on my device a little better. So that's Tiny Scanner. Okay. Any questions about Tiny Scanner, Elizabeth? Let me see here. I think I might be able to get into the chat. No, everybody's good. Again, this was called Tiny Scanner. You could do a search for other scanner apps. And like I said, there are some devices, there are, like built-in that will do this, but that extra step is you'll have to go back and then say, create a PDF. This does it all in one shot. All right. Any questions? We will move forward. So I'm going to stop share here for a moment, because in our description.
Hold on, we do have one question.
Okay.
From Doreen. It's, how do your file folders show up?
How do your file? It'll automatically create a folder on your phone. It creates a folder on the phone. It's an app folder in this case in Tiny Scanner, that'll show up on your phone. Now I have an Apple device, so it was a little more hands-off. It created the folder for me, and it automatically showed up in my iCloud folder. So every time I upload something, it goes in the folder. You also have the option in the settings to pick a specific folder on your phone or in the iCloud, or if you have a Samsung device, like an Android device, you could put it in a folder on your Android device, and it'll automatically sync up to the cloud. I hope that answered that question. Okay. Okay, cool. Now, I wanted to do just a couple of gadgets, because I mentioned this once before in our live program. Right now we're all working from home. Eventually, hopefully, we'll all be out again. But many of you are home-based businesses anyway, and perhaps you're letting somebody into your home who's an employee of yours, and you maybe have like a home-based office, a home-based business, and you want to keep an eye on them, or you want to keep an eye on your front porch, you want to keep an eye in your backyard and whatnot. So I do want to give a shout out to my favorite surveillance camera. It's the Wise Cam, and hopefully everybody could see here. And the reason why I like the Wise Cam is you can get this for about $25, which is really, really inexpensive. And I'm sorry that my virtual background is causing some issues there. But the Wise Cam is great because, like I said, it's $25. It is a live cam. You can monitor it live, or you can put a SD. Let me get that over. Yeah, you could put an SD card in the bottom of the camera and record up to 7 days worth of video on the camera. If you want to keep an eye on things, maybe you get packages at your home for your business. You want to keep an eye on them on the porch while you're out, when we eventually go back out again. The Ring doorbell is great. I have one. I think it's great. It is rather expensive. You put one of these in the window. They are indoor cameras. You put one of these in the window, and you can monitor it. There is an app that you download, so you can monitor it from home. You can tell the app to let you know, to alert you when there's motion in front of the camera, which comes in very handy. And I also want to give a shout out to Wise And I'm just going to share my screen here, and hopefully you can see that, because they have started to make or provide disposable face masks. They're doing medical equipment right now. They do other products as well. And like I said, these are not expensive things. These are very, very inexpensive. So for everybody who's on a budget, it does come in handy. I'll show you a quick video here. You can see what the quality looks like. Are you seeing that video, Elizabeth? The baby rolling around on the floor?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's basically what it looks like. The quality actually is pretty fantastic. It really is pretty amazing, the quality.
I'm going to jump in and just
Yeah.
say that Sal recommended these to me around Christmas time, and I got a couple, and they're really wonderful to be able to access it from the app, and you can actually turn the screen around, the camera around via the app. It's really nice.
Yes, there's another version of that. Yes, that's movable. I also use the Wise, the Wise bulbs, which you can link up to the camera. So if it detects motion, it'll turn the light on. And these also very inexpensive. You can get like, I think I got 4 of these for, I don't know what it was. It was maybe like $40. So it was like $10 each for a smart bulb is actually a really good price. It's great. I have a part of my house that's a little dark when I come home, and sometimes there's no lights on in the house. So before I come in, I hit the app and the lights go on in that part of the house. So when I walk in, it's lit up. So if you're working from home or your home-based business, really comes in handy for that. And one more gadget before I just jump. I have one more thing to show you after this. One more gadget that I have to admit is a little expensive, but I'll tell you how it has saved me during this time of COVID. And that is the AirPods Pro, which are the Apple wireless Bluetooth AirPods. I'm actually using them right now. Oh, how does this work? Oh, it's mirrored. Okay, I'm using them right now to listen and to also provide the audio and the microphone. They are very small. They self-charge inside the charging case. But the reason why, these are my wife's, the reason why I chose them and the reason why I suggest them is they're noise canceling. So when I'm in the kitchen on my laptop working on library work and my daughter is watching Nick Jr.'s show for the 8th time in a row, I don't have to hear that. So it really helps now that we're home to have such small devices in my head and have the noise canceling on it. So again, a little expensive. They have actually come down about $30 since I purchased them. So if you have a Costco membership or BJ's or Sam's Club, I think you can get them for cheaper, and also check on Amazon.com for that. I just want to show you.
We have a question.
Yes.
A comment. Do they come in different sizes? Most earbuds do not fit my ear. I believe they have. Oh no. Yes. Actually, you tell them about the Pro.
Yes, the Pro does come in 3. You get 3 sizes in your package when you purchase the Pro. You get small, medium, and large. And what's nice is that the app will tell you whether or not they're properly fitted. So you literally put the mediums are built in, are already on the AirPods when you get them. You put them in, you press a button, and the app will check, because there's speakers here. The app will check to make sure the sound coming in, coming out, there's a good seal. If not, it'll suggest a different size. I'm using the small right now. I also have the same problem. I'm using the small right now. I might actually go back to the medium because I was outside the other day and it's kind of weird when I smile or when I laugh, sometimes they get loose and they fall out. So I got these little like rubber, like a $1 rubber thing that I wear around when I'm outside. So if they fall out, they don't fall away. But yes, there are 3 sizes here, and they're very comfortable. They're incredibly comfortable. And like I said, the real benefit to them is the noise canceling. So just, you know what? I think I'm going to stop there, Elizabeth, so you can go. I'm just noticing the time is up to half hour here.
Yeah, that's okay though. If you have
So
something else, go.
I just wanted to show Lynda.com really quick, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, show Linda. It's
All
now
right.
LinkedIn Learning though.
LinkedIn Learning, and yeah, let me,
You do
oops.
not have to have a LinkedIn account, though.
You do not have to have a LinkedIn account.
Thank you, librarians.
Yes, because of us. So Lynda.com, you'll come to, you will have to have a Miller Business Center account. If you don't have a Miller Business Center account, just send us an email. We'll help you with that. Miller Center at cplibrary.org. You're going to come here, and this is the secret here. Since you're home, you're going to choose lynda.com remote access. You're going to click on that, and you're going to enter your library card number and your PIN. Click log on. Oops, that was weird.
While Sal's logging on, I just want to tell everybody, use any time you have now to take some of these classes. I've been taking a
Yeah,
lot of them. I think I'm
yeah.
up to like 4 actual certificates, and that's, you get the certificate if you've finished a class, but I'll let Sal tell you how great it is.
Yeah, let me just see here. I'm just going to try again. I might have, yeah, that's what I did. I typed in a wrong number. I'm going to share my screen in a moment with you. All right, you know what? It keeps bumping me out. I don't know why. All right, well, I can show you some of the different things that there are here. So let's say you want to learn different design, like using software, SketchUp, InDesign, AutoCAD, vector graphics. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos on here that, let's see here, I want to show you the business ones. And it's not just techie stuff. It's like marketing your business, productivity, advertising, and then using Excel, Access, PowerPoint.
There's some great stuff about leadership too, if you're really
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
like up your management skills and things as well.
exactly. And these are professionally produced videos and programs. This is all professional things, and like Elizabeth mentioned, you will get certificates at the end. And you know, some of us do have to prove that we're doing some sort of continuing education. So if you're in that industry and you have to have like continuing education, Elizabeth, in some cases the certificates are important. Is that correct?
Yeah, some people need to have those certificates, and you can print one out, you can email it to your whoever needs to see that certificate. So it's really nice. And I think that, you know, LinkedIn Learning, lynda.com has some weight to it, and you cannot get that certificate unless you actually watch the whole thing. So
Yes. So that does it for me. It took about a half hour, Elizabeth. I'm sorry. I hope that you have you have enough time. But yeah, I'm going to turn it over to Elizabeth now.
thank you. I'm
And
gonna
yeah, how do you do that? Yep.
yeah, give me a minute to change the spotlight. Here I come. Hi,
Hello,
everybody.
Elizabeth.
I do not have a fancy background. You'll just have to see my ceiling, I guess. But mostly, hopefully, you'll be seeing my screen. So I'm going to share my screen for the first one. And anybody that talks to me, I think, for more than 5 minutes knows that I am a podcast junkie. Some of you may be podcast junkies now that you're home more often, but I just love podcasts. I listen to them all the time. I probably listened to 7 this morning. So what I'm showing you right now is the podcast app that I use to listen to my podcast, and I use Stitcher. So I actually have a premium account with Stitcher, but these these podcasts you can listen to for free on almost any podcast app. So Apple Podcast, Overcast, Spotify. I do encourage you, if you can't find a podcast that you are looking for in one app, to check another app, because I know, for instance, Stitcher does not have a lot of the BBC podcasts. So I definitely look a few different places. So I think I love podcasts. I do. I listen to a lot, but a lot of people are kind of afraid to start listening to podcasts because they think it's a lot of time. I don't have time in the morning. I'm running around. But you can see right here, you're seeing my favorite podcast that I listen to all the time. And you can listen to podcasts that are 5 minutes long, 9 minutes long, and I find them so helpful to me because I don't have time to, say, read the business page of the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal. So one that I love so much is right here. It's called Business Wars Daily. It's literally 5 minutes long, uh, well under 10 minutes each day. And today's was talking about Shake Shack returning the $10 million they got for PPP, and really explained in 5 minutes about the loophole in the PPP that allowed businesses that are not small businesses. So under the SBA definition, small businesses have 500 or less employees. Obviously, Shake Shack has more than 500 employees. And what allowed them to even apply for the PPP was that there's a loophole that says if you have several locations, you can look at that number by location. So Shake Shack, Ruth Chris, I'm trying to think of the other ones they mentioned. Those are the two that stand out. All applied for it. They got tens of millions of dollars and all the money is out. So in 5 minutes, I learned all of that, plus the fact that Shake Shack felt bad because the money ran out. They didn't realize it would, and they're returning their $10 million. There's also a full-length Business Wars podcast where you can learn about all these different things. Hold on. So right now, the Business Wars is doing a multi-part podcast on Amazon versus Walmart. They've done episodes on the Raisin Cartel. Who knew? So you can see here North Face versus Patagonia, several parts. Starbucks versus Dunkin'. I don't know. I find these fascinating. Nintendo versus Sony. But so I love that one. But if you're looking for things that you can just listen to quickly in the morning, there's Business Wars Daily, The Indicator. I recommend that you go to whatever news source you like the most. I'm an NPR, New York Times girl. So I download all their little short episodes. So you can see The Indicator is 9 minutes. The New York Times Daily is 23 minutes. There's an NPR news story of the day, 3 minutes. So you can actually listen to a lot of stuff without spending a lot of time doing it. If you have a very short commute, my commute's 12 minutes, I can listen to 4 podcasts on the way if they're 3 minutes each. So I highly recommend those. If anybody ever wants recommendations on podcasts, feel free to ask me. My colleagues can confirm that I will give you many, many recommendations. Outside of news and business, I listen to a lot of true crime. So hit me up. Okay. Any questions on those? No. Okay.
Well, Elizabeth,
Yeah.
I think you should mention probably one of the best new podcasts out there.
I can't believe I forgot. It's very new. So you should, and I can't believe it's not in my favorites yet.
Oh, I tell you. You
should definitely download and listen to the Miller Business Center podcast.
Is it going to show up that way?
It might not. Tell me what is it?
Centered on business.
Look, it's so new. I forgot the title. So we have only released 1 episode so far.
Yes.
And it was a book discussion on the book, The Energy Bus, but we do have our second session ready to go.
Yes,
And
coming Friday.
coming Friday, interviewing none other than Lenore Paprocki, talking about what's going on now, talking about the chamber. So definitely keep an eye on that. It is something that we had been working on before the shutdown. So it's not really how we thought we were going to start, but we're having a good time with it, and we hope you guys will join us. The next thing I wanted to show is kind of a companion to what Sal showed, which is Hoopla. So not every library subscribes to Hoopla, but I believe a lot of Suffolk libraries are subscribing to Hoopla. And this is another way for you to get books, audiobooks, ebooks, music, movies, while we're all stuck at home. And what makes Hoopla a little different from library is that everything is available whenever you want it. There's no limit to the number of copies. With that, the selection is not as robust as libraries. So not all the new books are there. But if you can see, I did a search for business, just a quick search, and there are a lot of different ebooks, audiobooks. What I think is nice about this is they'll have a short audiobooks that you can listen to. This one is 183 minutes, so it's probably based on an article from the Harvard Business Review. So it's short bursts of information for you. You don't have to commit to a 13 hour. I'm listening to an audiobook right now, fiction, it's 13 hours. So you don't have to commit to that. You can pick just bits and pieces. So again, more Harvard Business Review titles. This one's 338 minutes. I don't know why they're doing it in minutes. Usually it's by hours, but those are great. And when you download any of them, things to keep in mind when you're talking about Hoopla, generally speaking, you have a very limited amount of downloads that you can have. Our library is 15. Other libraries are more or less. Keep in mind that when you download it, the library is paying for it when you download it. So don't download it and borrow it until you know you're going to read it. That's just a budgetary thing from me being a librarian that's saying that. But what's nice is you can favorite the things that you want, so you can have all your favorites here. And I've finished listening to one book. Now, which one do I want to listen to next or read? I generally use this to listen to books. So you can just go and get any of the books you want to listen to. So that's Hoopla. And then it's a nice segue into the next thing that I want to talk about, which was actually recommended to us at our last program that we did on this topic by one of our attendees. I believe it was Henry Bramwell. It's called Blinkist. And what Blinkist allows you to do is, again, if you hear about these books, you're hearing somebody mentioned The Miracle Morning to you, somebody mentioned Emotional Intelligence to you, somebody mentioned this, Smart Teams, The Power of Habit, and they sound like great books. You really truly want to read or listen to them, but there's just not enough time. But I really want those key elements of it. So what Blinkist allows you to do is to get the top insights from a wide variety of nonfiction books in 15 minutes in an audio format. It is a paid, it's mostly a paid app, but they do have this daily pick of the day. So every day there's a free daily pick that you can listen to. And due to the COVID, everybody home, they have their top blinks, they call them, are available for free. I can highly recommend The Power of Habit. I read that. I thought it was wonderful. But if you don't have time, listen to it 15 minutes right now. Last night I started to listen to The Miracle Morning. Oh, I started to listen to The Miracle Morning, and you can see that each blink is about 2 minutes. There's about 12 to 15 in each that I saw, and it's really wonderful. So I really highly recommend this. I don't know that I would subscribe, but I have to use it more, and it is potentially something that I could subscribe to, because you can't read everything. You can't listen to everything. There's only so much time in a day. So to be able to get those key points, and at the very least, maybe that's going to show me the book that I do really want to dig into. And some, maybe if you listen to our first podcast, you will hear how Sal felt about the first book we read. And he probably would agree with me that that book would have been fine for him to just listen to a blink of. So
Hey, Elizabeth, can you just
yeah,
spell that app? Is it Blink? How do you spell that?
IST, Blinkist. Okay, so the next app that I'm just going to mention is, we're all trapped at home. We're not seeing each other, so we're spending a lot of time on trying to promote ourselves, trying to talk to people through social media. So Instagram is one of my favorite social media platforms personally and for the library. And I don't want to turn this into a social media or Instagram program, but I want to mention one thing about Instagram. If you're feeling overwhelmed at home with, following so many people and how do I keep up, one way that you can kind of mitigate the amount of people you're following and really seeing what's relevant, like this guy doing his exercise. Maybe it's somebody you follow on business, but you really don't want to see him do his exercise. A way that you can really hone what you're following is to follow hashtags. So for instance, if I search for the hashtag, let's say Long Island business. So I don't necessarily have to follow every Long Island business, but if I click into that hashtag, now I'm seeing all the posts that have the hashtag Long Island business. And you can see up top that I'm actually already following that post. So that's a really nice way to find any posts that are relevant to the topic that is most interesting to you for your business. So, if we also follow the tag for BizRef. So for us as librarians, it's great because we're able to see what are other librarians, business librarians doing related to their community. So it's a way for us to kind of keep up with that. Although when I see this, it looks like we're the ones using that hashtag the most. So that's a great thing to do. But you also want to, when you're considering your Instagram page, you don't want to just focus solely on your own posting. Sometimes you're not sure what to post, or sometimes you are going through other people's posts and you see something really great that you would like to repost. You can obviously take a screenshot of that picture and post it, but that's really not the best way to do it. It's really not best practices. You want to always give credit to any picture or post that you're reposting. And the easiest way I think to do it is to use some sort of repost app. So I use the Repost app. So let me, I'm just going to find something that I can repost. Okay, so for instance, I'm going to repost this post from the Gordon Heights Chamber of Commerce. It's about jobs. I love to let people know when there are jobs available. So I'm going to click into the 3 dots right up here to the right, and you can see it says copy link. So I'm going to copy that link, and you can see the link copied to my clipboard. Now I'm going to go to my Repost app. Now the Repost app is just one of many reposting apps that you can download. I prefer the Repost app. It's just what I'm used to, and it is free. So you can see I copied that, and it's showing up at the top of my Repost list. So if I click into that, and I'm going to click the one that I want. So here's their post, and you can see down here, it's right on the picture. So when I post the picture, it's going to show that this is a repost from the Gordon Heights Chamber. So what's nice about this is if you see on the bottom, I can change my placement based on where it works with whatever I'm posting. So I'm going to put it up top because I think people can still read that now, even though that's there. I'm going to click repost. Now it's asking me if I want to copy the caption and open Instagram. Great. I don't want to reinvent the wheel here. I want to make sure that I'm giving appropriate credit to not only the Gordon Heights Chamber, but also to Repost, because I did use this through them. So I'm going to click copy caption and open Instagram. Takes me right to Instagram. It couldn't be easier. So I'm going to hit either story or feed. For this, I'm going to send it to the feed. So the feed are your static pictures. The stories are the stories that you can post that only stay active for 24 hours. But what I'm going to do is post this to my feed. Not so much in this case, but when you're posting from somebody else, I generally try not to use a filter because I want to keep the post as accurate, as close to what they posted, since I am copying their post. So again, I believe that's probably just a best practice for sharing content on Instagram. So I'm going to hit next. Now we're at this right caption part. Now, if you remember, I copied the caption, but before I put their caption on, I want to put my own caption on. So I'll say, you know, jobs available. I'd probably do more, but I'm not going to do too much right now because we're in this program. So jobs available. And now I'm going to paste the caption they had. And you can see here in the caption, it's mentioning the Repost app. It's mentioning Gordon Heights Chamber. It's mentioning the places that actually are hiring, best market. So I hit OK, share, and it's posted. And I think this is a great way to build that social media aspect of social media. We talk a lot about posting on Instagram, but unless you're actually being active with the people that are in your social network, it's not really an effective use of social media. So the last thing I want to mention real quick is, how do you create this great content for social media? I'm going to mention, since we do have time, the Canva app. Bear with me while I find it. So this is the Canva app. I did do a program on using Canva and we recorded it, so it would be on the MBC TV. If you need a link, I'm sure Sal can put that in the chat. But Canva does have an app. So if you're on the go and you want to create a quick Instagram post, you can create from the app. I find it's a lot harder for me and my fingers to do too much detailed work when I'm using the app. But if you wanted to create something very quickly, you can see that you can just pick one of these templates.
Hey, Elizabeth, we have a quick question.
Yeah.
Michael wanted to know if there are any fees to get an Instagram account.
No fees at all. So you can see I opened up a template. Once I click on the picture to replace it, all my pictures are coming up. So I'm going to put this picture in. I can easily change all of this wording. we are still to help. And again, my fingers don't let me do too many of this, but you can change anything you want and then post it right from the Canva app. Any questions on that?
Not seeing anything. Looks
Okay.
good.
Yeah, I'm done. I'd love to hear what everybody else is, the apps that you guys are using.
Sure, we gotta mention something that George had tried signing up for, the Informed app, which I showed you earlier, and evidently it's currently unavailable at the for PO boxes at CenterReach. That doesn't mean it's never going to be available. It's just in higher density areas, the rollout is much slower. So that's according to the post office. And I also wanted to mention that that
Val, I
service is
just made you spotlight.
okay.
Because you have
Did
a
you hear
better
me?
background. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I also want to mention that if that service is available for your zip code and it's based on the zip code and that 4-digit number at the end, that there is no charge for that. So any other questions before we wrap this up? We thank you all for attending. Lenora, did you want to say anything before we wrap up? Oh, you're on mute. Just unmute yourself, Lenore.
You're mute.
You're muted. Yeah, unmute yourself. There you go.
So sorry.
There you go. Okay. So did you want to say anything?
What I was saying is that a shout out to the Canva app, because from
I'm gonna make you spotlight, Lenore.
it was are you gonna make me spotlight? Well, hello everybody. I use the Canva app and it's been great for me. I really have been able to create some nice things that I never thought I could do. So it's been, and it's very, very user friendly. So it's a great app, but appreciate all of the knowledge you guys gave. I have 2 pages worth of notes. Now, when we hang up, I'm gonna try some of these things.
There you go. And that's actually something, a good segue. Something that I wanted to mention is that everything that we mentioned today, we're going to post under our recording on YouTube. So you'll have links to everything that we talked about today on our YouTube notes in the description on the video.
Terrific.
And I just wanted to say, if you guys need help on any of these apps, please contact us at the Miller Center. And even if it's not related to these apps, if you need assistance on accessing any of our databases, which Sal will be talking about tomorrow at 9 a.m. also on Zoom. But if you need help with anything, we're still here. We're doing the same things that we were doing, just not in person. So please contact us.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Everybody soon.
Bye.
All
Thanks
right.
for coming.
Bye-bye. Thanks.